Good morning and welcome to this occasional vlog. Today we have a very early start. I wanted to try and catch sunrise at a very special place. This morning we're at Waverley Abbey. Good morning and welcome to this occasional vlog. Today we're up really early. The sun has just started rising over the horizon there. The reason being is we've come to a rather special place. We've come to a place called Waverley Abbey. I've seen so many photos of this place, especially taken under some really impressive lighting conditions, that I thought come out and see what it looks like at sunrise. Let's see what we find. So this part here is what's remaining of the monastery's church. This isn't the original church. There was a different one here when the monks first moved here. That was damaged by flooding, and as a result they built a much bigger church. Don't know whether the intention was that the church needed to be bigger congregation. So this part here is what remains of the south transept, which is, if you think of looking at a traditional church from above, they tend to look a little bit like the cross, and the transepts are the two arms of that cross. So this is the south transept. In fact, that puts it better. Two great cross arms. This is part of the 13th century abbey and was one of the last parts of it to be completed. So you can imagine those would have been impressive looking windows. I'm guessing that's some sort of fireplace, altar, I'm not sure. Now, looking at the plan that there is of this place, along this side of the transept would have been little rooms, which I think were for prayer, not entirely sure. Unfortunately for Wiggs, dogs are not permitted off the lead, so he's having to make do with this slightly extended lead. So, a little background to this abbey. This is Waverley Abbey. It's just outside the Surrey town of Farnham. The abbey was set up by Cistercian monks from France. In fact, this was the first Cistercian abbey in the UK. The monks were referred to as white monks. I think that might be something to do with the kind of dress that they wore. So this part of the abbey is, I think, the one that anybody that has seen this will recognise immediately. It's what's left of a vaulted cellar with what's left of the floor up there. Look at that sunlight. But some of the most stunning photos that I've seen have been taken here. This part of the abbey is called the West Range, which, as I understand it, is where the lay brothers, not the Cistercian monks, would have slept. So I'm not entirely sure how it all works, but as I understand it, you have the monks and you have the lay brothers. What is impressive about this is that this is the section that contains part of what remains of the cellar. So the abbey was founded in 1128 by the Bishop of Winchester, a guy by the name of William Gifford, and was the first Cistercian monastery founded in the UK. They chose this place to found their first monastery in the UK because of the solitude of this area. I think it's a little different these days, but it's nicely tucked down, surrounded by hills and a river, so I guess it probably was a really nice place of solitude. Now in the East Range, which, as I understand it, is where the monks' dormitories were, although not quite as impressive as the what's remaining of the lay brothers section of the building. Still an impressive array of remains. We have that what looks like almost the full height of the building back there. I can understand why this place is proving to be quite photographic subject. I think most of the monasteries that there were in this country, when they were destroyed by Henry VIII, were pretty much razed to the ground. So, after the flood in the 13th century, they rebuilt this place, and according to the information that we have, which seems to be backed up by various archaeological digs that have happened here, it blossomed into a very successful abbey. They farmed the area. The Cistercians apparently were very well known for their wool and were major wool traders. There's also indications of an infirmary that they built for both those on pilgrimages as well as just general travellers. So they were providing quite a service here. But then 1536 came along and Henry VIII's dissolution of the monasteries. If you're not au fait with British history, the Dissolution of Monasteries was Henry VIII's attempt to remove all traces of Catholicism from this country and take back what he felt was the wealth that the Church of Rome had stolen from the people of Britain. So he ordered all of these monasteries to be closed down and lands to be passed over to the wealthy in the areas. And that happened with this monastery. It wasn't considered one of the biggest monasteries by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I think it was considered one of the minor monasteries, but even so, it was taken away from the Cistercians. They, I suspect, headed back to France, and the buildings that were here were then subsequently demolished and the stones used for one of the local big houses. I believe it's Loseley House, which, if you're in the UK, you know that Loseley is known these days for its posh ice cream. And bringing the story right up to date, well, I hope that I've been able to capture quite how impressive this area is, and it's not overlooked by the professional movie makers out there. This has been used, especially in the last 30 or so years, as a backdrop for many a movie. Elizabeth I, we have Hot Fuzz, which seems a bit bizarre. We have a couple of Disney movies. We have Into the Woods and we have The Huntsman. And right up to date, I haven't seen the movie yet myself, so I don't know what part of this it was filmed in, though I suspect, like most, it will be the cellar section here. The latest Mummy movie also was filmed in part here. Well, I'm going to call it a day for today's visit to Waverley Abbey. I'm sure we'll be back at some point, maybe a sunset at the Abbey, I'm not sure. I hope you enjoyed our little explore of the Abbey and its grounds. If you enjoyed it, show your appreciation and hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, why not subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll get more of these adventures recorded over the next few weeks. Until the next time, I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.